Hi, and welcome back to Physical Activity Quick Plays with Lisa Workman. Welcome, everybody. If you don't know me, I am Lisa Workman, clinical exercise physiologist, kinesiologist, who has been working in the field for well over 20 years. And I'm here today to share with you a little quick play. So our lesson for today is all about the strength and endurance continuum. And what this is a resistance training concept. It's where we look at muscular strength versus muscular endurance and looking at where we pick the number of repetitions we do versus the actual weight that we're going to lift. And so when we're thinking of muscular strength, we're looking at some exercises which are including lower repetitions with higher resistance. Versus if we look on the other side of the continuum, we're looking at muscular endurance, where we see a higher number of repetitions versus a lower weight. So kind of this inverse relationship between muscular strength and muscular endurance. Now, it is not a perfect science, but we are looking at a way of trying to figure out what are the outcomes that you're actually getting from your resistance training. So for example, here, we're looking at that strength being closer to what we call one repetition maximum. So that one repetition maximum is the amount of weight that you can lift only one single time, versus muscular endurance is the ability of the muscle to maintain muscle contraction over a long extended period of time. So with lots of repetitions, closer to, even upwards of 100 RM, because we're going so far so many times. So this concept is all about the relationship between the two types, strength and endurance. So I encourage you, where are you with your resistance training program? Are you looking for more strength, more endurance, or maybe another thing called hypertrophy? So let's look at this strength endurance continuum in its entirety. Down at the far left-hand corner, we're looking at low repetitions, but high resistance, looking at more strength. And you can see that strength can also occur upwards of 8 repetitions, 10 repetitions, 12 repetitions. We're still getting muscular strength. But all of a sudden, this word hypertrophy comes out, and hypertrophy is muscle growth. And so we can start seeing in that sort of mid-range between 8 and 12 repetitions, the outcome of our resistance training would be more about growing those muscle fibers. And of course, not an enormous amount, but enough at the microscopic level. And then we look at the far right end of that continuum, and what we actually see is that it's a little bit more about endurance. Muscular endurance, the ability to maintain a contraction over time without fatiguing. So this is the strength endurance continuum, sort of in a schematic setting, so that you can think about it in terms of your own resistance training. So our quick play recap is looking at strength and where we get it, usually with higher resistance and lower repetitions. Muscle hypertrophy or muscle growth is sort of showing up in the middle, where we have moderate repetitions and moderate levels of resistance. And then the final thing is muscular endurance, where we're looking at a lower weight, but over many, many repetitions at a time. So nothing like it is insight into action. What can you move on from here in this quick play? What can you change or at least look at in your resistance training program? So I encourage you to reflect, see what are you doing typically for your resistance training program, and how does that fall on the strength endurance continuum. Take an opportunity to say, maybe my program is plateauing and maybe I need to make some changes. Maybe I need to work a little bit more on the left side of the continuum, working a little bit more strength. Or maybe I do so much strength work, I barely do any endurance work, any muscular endurance work. So go up to the right side. Now, as you can imagine, our day-to-day lives require us to have a certain level of strength, but also a certain level of endurance. So it is beneficial to work your way up and down that continuum and not really stay always in that exact same spot for every single workout. Is this the chance for you to change your routine? Maybe it is one session in the week versus all sessions of the week. Play with it. Try to figure out how can you change your program to actually get a different change, a different outcome. And of course, if you are in a place where you're not quite sure where you are with your physical activity and exercise, not to worry. Maybe you're saying, Lisa, I'm not even doing resistance training. That's okay. So I encourage you to jump on some of my free resources. My free mini online course, Assess, is absolutely free for you to jump on and get involved. Start doing the homework and the work so that you can start changing your physical activity. And soon you might actually get to the point where you need to look at the Strength and Endurance Continuum. Again, this is Lisa Workman, clinical exercise physiologist and kinesiologist. Happy to share this quick play with you, hopefully to inspire you to take a look at your program and see what is possible. I'm here to help you in your physical activity journey. Please do reach out if you have any questions. Bye.